Austericulae scorbutiki. Ahoy there, scurvy lovers. And welcome to part 9 of my video series showing the progress I've made so far in translating The Secret of Monkey Island into Latin. There's a link to the full playlist down below in the description. And okay, where we left off, we were talking to the Cannibals. This is the dialogue for after you've given them the idol, and they're very grateful for it, and they want to give you something in return. And they ask if there's anything you want. And then here are dialogue options you get when you tell them, actually, there is something I'm looking for. So in the English here on the left, and it's Latin on the right, I'm looking for somebody. Re vera res quasquaero sunt quos daumines. So actually, the things which I'm looking for are certain people. And the reason, I added the re vera is just because, the dialogue before this was saying, I'm looking for a thing. And then, I don't know, just the way it worked out. But in English, it's more natural to say, what are you looking for? I'm looking for somebody. But I think I need to make it clear, like, oh, actually, the inanimate thing we were just talking about is actually a person. I'm looking for people. Res quasquaero sunt postdaumines. So actually, the things which I'm looking for are certain people. And then, or I need a ship. Opus est mihi nave. Can you guys crew a ship? Nautaine fieri velitis in meae nave. So, would you like to? Do you want to become sailors on my ship? Money. I want money. Pecuniam. Date mihi pecuniam. Money. Give me money. And then, on second thought, you've already done so much. So you're refusing to get any kind of reward. Ut non creputo iom plus adiuvistis quam merior. As I now rethink, you have already helped more than I deserve. Okay, and then the response is to, if you say you need a ship, the Cannibals can ask, well, how did you get here if you don't have a ship? And of course, this line of dialogue only comes up if you sank your ship earlier. If you still have your ship, you won't have this option. But how did you get here if you don't have a ship? Huc sine nave quo pacto venisti. So here without a ship, by what means did you come? And then Guybrush explains, well, this big rock fell out of the sky. Fuit mihi navis sede caelo magnum saxum cecidet. There was to me a ship. I did have a ship. But from the sky, a big rock fell, and I see, say no more. Intelligo, non quidem necesses tactere plura dicere. I understand. Indeed, it's not necessary to speak more on this matter. The Cannibals are well aware of the hazard that Herman's art poses, and it's implied that ships were almost sunk before, so they understand what's going on. But also maybe they're, they're also trying to not, in case Guybrush doesn't know that they have anything to do with it, maybe they're trying to, I don't know. But then the response, I'm sorry, but we don't have a ship. Nos autem paenite tavam non habere contividemus. We, however, are pained that we do not have a ship, which we might give you. And then to the response to whether they want to become members of the crew. imo transmarina peregrinatione nos obstinemus. On the contrary, we abstain ourselves from transmarine peregrination, from cross sea traveling. I'm trying to remember if this is an exact phrase I found somewhere to describe sea travel, or I just landed on it. And then they explain why, because they're so health conscious, that it's just too hard to get all the vitamin C you need when you're on a ship for extended periods. So once again, all these modern nutritional things, you have to either, I was just dipping into the Neo-Latin for these modern nutritional concepts rather than trying to think of Roman equivalents. Non nimus difficile est. Typically I've been writing out all the proto-legions. Non nimis difficile est is deutios navigantibus ciborum vitamino K imbutorum satis esse. So, yes, for it is too difficult for those sailing for a long time to eat enough of foods imbued with vitamin C. And then when you say you want money, they're like, that's not exactly what you had in mind. Hoc non est quod te dictur esse potabimus. This is not what we thought you were going to say. I don't know why I landed on translating it that way, but it still works. Is there anything else we can do for you? Quomodo praeterea te juemus. How otherwise might we help you? And then now the response for when you say you're looking for somebody here on Monkey Island, Haec in Monkey Island, we're the only people living on Monkey Island. Well, the only civilized people. So here's the counterpoint to Herman earlier. You ask him if he's the only person on the island. He says he's the only civilized person. And now the cannibals are saying the same thing about him, that they're the only civilized people. And then said Nemo praeter nos in Monkey Island vivit, but no one except for us lives on Monkey Island. Vel poteos nemo quad humanitat excultust, or rather, no one who has been cultivated to humanity. Nobody has been polished to civility, or whatever. It's that phrase again for civilized. And I use, more often in this context, you'd use habitat instead of vivit for living on an island. Although you can use vivit to describe living in a place, but it's less common. But I went with that because it's because it ties into this joke with the next line, where Guybrush can respond, well, that's okay, the people I'm looking for aren't living. Benest, homines ene quosquaero non vivi sunt. It is well, for the humans which I see are not alive. So I had to make sure the pun still worked. That's okay, the people I'm looking for aren't civilized. Benest, homines ene quosquaero non exculti sunt. I didn't want to write out the whole phrase because, like, if you make the dialogue options too long, they push off the screen. So it is well. In excultus on its own does kind of mean refined and proper. Does carry kind of the meaning all on its own. The people indeed which I'm looking for, or for the people I'm looking for, are not polished, are not proper. And then, whoops, guess I came to the wrong island, excuse me. Iras e vidior ad ali insula vinere volvi, valete. I seem to have erred, or in this case, literally wandered, both meanings, right? Made a mistake, or literally like wandered off path. But I seem to have erred. I wanted to come to another island. Goodbye. And then I'm looking for 30 dead guys and 1 woman. Right, he's looking for LeChuck's undead crew and Elaine. Trigintum mortuos et una mulierum quaero. I'm searching for 30 dead people, 30 corpses, and 1 woman. And then, I don't think I want to hear more about it, is their response to that. 30 dead guys and 1 woman. And then, it looks like I maybe translated their reaction more strongly here in the Latin. Fae sceleste actere nihil plus attere volimus. Gross, you criminal, you bad person. I want to hear nothing more about this matter. I don't know. I feel like that's a very very Roman comedy type of thing. when you have this kind of like awkward innuendo to really play up with a reaction to it. Maybe that's why I made that choice. I don't know. And then wait, maybe he's talking about those dead pirates. And realizing, yeah, he means LeChuck's crew. Portasi piratas y los mortos quaeret. Perhaps he's searching for those dead pirates. Oh yeah, those guys. Oh, eos sane novimus. Oh yeah, we obviously know them. And then you've seen the ghost pirate LeChuck and his cadaverous crew. Vidisti sicetur piratum phantasmaticum LeChuck et eos contubernales cadaverosos. Therefore you have seen the ghost pirate LeChuck and his cadaverous comrades, his contubernale. Literally they're like the soldiers that you bunk with in a barrack in like the Roman military, and then by extension it means like friends and comrades and companions. In this case it works for the crew. I just needed I needed the line to still alliterate cadaverous crew, so that's why I went with contubernales. And yeah, cadaverosos doesn't mean full of bodies, like you might expect with the osos suffix. It means looking like a body, looking corpse-like. And then those jerks have been bugging us for months. Istai quidum naquissimi larvae sunt iam paralicot menses nobis molestai. So those worthless, indeed those worthless, good for nothing ghosts, larva, it's another word for ghost. Worthless, good for nothing ghosts are now bothersome to us for months. So yeah, so present because it's still an ongoing thing. So once again, the have been periphrastic tense in English doesn't have an equivalent in Latin, and they just use the present in those situations. But yeah, so those good for nothing ghosts have been bothersome to us for months. zooming around in that creepy ghost ship of theirs, wailing and moaning until all hours of the morning. Just do that part first. Non semper huc atquiloc eorum formidelosa nave phantasmatica volitont. For always here and there, they are flying in their spooky ghost ship. Tota nocte gementes et udulantes usquad lucem. So the whole night groaning and howling all the way to light, all the way till dawn. That's the expression used to do something till morning, till dawn. Usquad lucem. Scaring away all the cruise ship business. Quavrem magistri navium periegeticar omnes quibuscum negotiabamur abacti sunt. For which reason all of the tourists, all of the traveling, all of the captains of the passenger ships, of the travel tourist ships, with which we were doing business, have been driven away. Normally, when we have problems with the undead, we just cook up our standard potion of exorcism and be done with it. Antia cum lemures mortuis excitati molestium nobis exhiberent usitatum poteon exercismi modo quoquere solevamos utre mission faceremos. So before, when limore, another word for ghost. Before, when ghosts woken from the dead. Oh, this must have been my way to try to translate undead specifically, and I think I must have found this expression, lemures mortuis excitati. So so before, when spirits woken from the dead were exhibiting troublesomeness for us. So this is another expression meaning to like bother someone, using exhibio with molestion. Were causing trouble for us. We were wont to cook our usual potion of exorcism, and of course exorcismos, very much Greek roots in there. It's very much a medieval Latin word, but might as well use it. Because the Roman equivalent to an exorcism ritual, there could be like the what is it? Gosh, is it called the Lemuria? Well, whatever. There's the Roman festival tradition or whatever, a certain date where you're supposed to purify your house of ghosts or whatever. Maybe in that context there's a classical word for exorcism, but I'm just going with the recognizable medieval Latin, ecclesiastical Catholic Church exorcism word. So we were wont to cook up our usual potion of exorcism, so that we could make the matter scent, so that we could put it behind us and not have to think about it. And then so why don't you do that now? So back to Guybrush's dialogue options. So why don't you do that now? Curigitur hoc I'm tongue-tied. Curigitur hoc iom non facitis. Why therefore are you not doing this now? What's in your standard potion of exorcism? Equibus fiat usitat potio extricismi, or potio extricismi. Lesions. So out of what things is your usual potion of exorcism made? Give me the potion, I'll use it on the chuck. Date mihi potionem, quod the chuck adibiam. Give me the potion, which I will apply to the chuck, which I will use on the chuck. So here's our verb in the verb line down below, adhibio, that we're using for use, and here it is, actually being used in a spoken sentence in the game. Where are LeChuck and his crew hiding? Ubi latent LeChuck et eos nautai. Where are LeChuck and his sailors lying in wait, lying hidden? And then in response to why can't you do that now? We can't. Non possumos. Why not? Pur non. Well, the main ingredient of the potion is a very rare root. But I keep res quae nobis habendas ut potionem faciamos est rarissima radix. So the principal thing, it's kind of the closest way I could find to translate the idea of a main ingredient. So the primary thing, principal thing, which we have to have in order that we might make the potion, is a very rare root. In fact, there's only one in existence. Unum quidum tantum nunc extat. One indeed only now exists, now remains. We only use a little bit at a time, you see. Quasane modo paululate nos utimur, which obviously we only use little by little. But LeChuck stole the whole thing. LeChuck autem totum radicem furatost. LeChuck, however, stole the whole root. I keep wanting to say radish. This is where the word radish comes from, but I keep wanting to say stole the whole radish. But yeah, this is just the word for root. And then there's no stuff over on that side. Okay. Where is he hiding it? In quo loco radix absconditas. So, in which place has he hidden away the radish? Where, the root? Where has he absconded with the root? Into what place has he absconded the root? How do I get into these catacombs? So this is a follow-up question for when they're about to tell you about the catacombs. How do I get into these catacombs? Como deguipse has catacumbas intre. By what means might I myself enter these catacombs? And so I think catacumba is, it's where catacomb comes from. I think it's a late Latin word. I think there may have been a different word that the Romans themselves used to describe. So it was, originally, so this is a late Latin word used to describe, I think a communal, it was like the pauper's grave pit, like an area where poor people are all buried together in the same spot, and then by analogy that was associated with other medieval catacombs that were more like tunnels and stuff, but certainly by medieval times catacumba would have meant something like a modern day catacomb. I'm using a lot more medieval Latin and late Latin with these cannibals than other characters. I don't know if that's on purpose. I don't know, but that's how it's working out. And then I could have done other words for tunnel or whatever, like funiculos. But then it's also a word that means rabbit. I mean, like tunnel or mine shaft or rabbit, because rabbits burrow or so. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't want any ambiguity about rabbit. I don't know. It makes sense from context that they're not talking about rabbits. They're talking about tunnels. But yeah, how might I myself enter these catacombs? And then you can ask, what's in your standard push to exorcism? Is another opportunity to ask that. Equibus fiatus aetata potio exercismi. And then the Chuck came in here and stole your root. What a cad! The Chuck hut venit radicanque furatos. Oh, sceleston. So the Chuck came here and stole your root. Oh, the criminal. Oh, the bad man. What a bad guy. I'm off to find the Chuck and get the root. Profi quiscor ad le Chuck inveniendon radicemque recipiendon. So I'm off to find the Chuck and recover the root. And then in response to you saying, what, he stole your root? Oh, that's horrible. And then I forget which cannibal, but one of them says, oh, and I suppose stealing bananas is any better? Oh, suspicor quidum tua sententia multo melios esse furtuarienae cum radicis. So, I suppose indeed, in your opinion, it's much better. The theft of a banana is much better than of a root. And then in response to where the catacombs are, the great monkey himself is the gateway to the catacombs of the underworld. Magna simia ēdita'st porta perquam catacum bainferorum. Oh boy, lots of allusions here. Catacum bainferor vintrentur. So the great monkey itself is the portal through which the catacombs of the underworld, or literally catacombs of the people in the underworld. It's plural inferi, referring to the people below, or maybe it's the places below. Maybe it's inferi because it's talking about the Loki, inferi Loki. Oh, that might be. For some reason, whenever I interpreted the Latin word for the underworld, I thought it was plural because of the people. But now that I think about it, I don't know. Whatever, it's a plural word. So the catacombs of the underworld. The great monkey itself is the gate through which the catacombs of the underworld might be entered. And then, or then one of the other responses, when you ask where is the Chuck hiding, then it kind of answers the same question about these catacombs. So he's in a place beneath this island. Est in loco sub hac insula. He's in a place under this island, somewhere in a huge system of catacombs. Alicubin immenso labyrunto catacumbaro. So somewhere in an immense labyrinth of catacombs. I just decided to just use good old labyrinto, good mythological word, to describe a maze-like system of things. A hellish place filled with the wailing of tortured souls trapped forever in the rock. Qui locus infernus semper impletur lamentationibus animarum tortarum carceribus saxosis inclusarum. So which infernal place is always filled with the lamentations of tortured souls enclosed in rocky prisons. Where the walls bleed and the air is thick with the rancid smell of pure evil. Ubi crur ex pellietibus fluit, et aer odore puri mali rancido crassost. So where blood flows from the walls and the air is thick with the rancid odor of pure evil. So that's pretty literal, but I think it works. I think Romans could use crassos to describe a thick smell and stuff, a densely penetrating smell. I think it's all idiomatic, even though it's pretty literal. Yeah. And then, of course, good old Monkey Island humor in contrast to describing this horrible place. Tourists used to line up for hours to see it. Where is that? Ordine quidum praelongo peregrinatores alios post alium multas horas uni consistebant ut catacumbas mirarentur. So I probably maybe over-translated that line and became too specific, but I think I had to maybe use some circumlocution to explain the concept of waiting in a line, which the Romans probably did, but I don't know if they had any like short phrases to describe waiting in line for something. So tourists, pilgrims, indeed, in a very long line, one after the other, many hours, once upon a time, formerly in the past, would stand. So they would stand one after another for many hours in a line in order to marvel at the catacombs. And then, what happened? Health department shut you down? This is one response you can have. Quid accidit? Curatorne salutis publicae vos praeclusit? So, I don't know what I was looking for there. What happened? The curator of public health closed you, shut you down. Praecludo is a word. Means like to shut down, in the sense like to shut down someone's business with a government policy or whatever, or at least it can mean that. Because I think I found it in Suetonius, describing one emperor or another shutting down. Trying to enforce the trying to force bans on merchants selling purple dyes and stuff, which are reserved for the emperor. I think was the context of the quote. What do you call? Sartorial laws? Is that what they? Whatever. Yes. So this does mean to shut down a business, and then and I think the phrase curator salutis publicae, I think I found that somewhere on Wikipedia to describe it as a job description for some person or another who at one point worked as a public health official. I think I found this rendering of curator of public health. So that works. It sounds like something, if the Romans had such a thing, it sounds like the title they would have given them. But yeah, so what happened? The curator of public health shut you down. And then, can't you just go down there and kick him out? Quin modo vos illoquitis ad lechoc expellendum? Why not merely go there to expel the chuck? And then, or then your other, and then the chuck came and ruined everything, right? In response to like the tourists used to line up. And then the chuck came and ruined everything, right? Sedende le chuck venet et omnia perdidet, nonne? But then the chuck came and destroyed everything, didn't he? Isn't that right? And then hearing about the hearing about the catacombs sounds neat. Can I see it? Mirab lauditu catacumbas visum nunc eamus. So marvelous to hear. Let's go now to visit the catacombs. And then, but then, no, we lost the key. So that's why, yeah, you can't just go. Imo clavis amisast. No, on the contrary, the key was lost. But then it was stolen. Eum vero quidum ferratos. But it indeed was stolen, or truly indeed it was stolen. A lot of corrections, like, we lost it, no, it was stolen. Well, I guess we loaned it. Well, we loaned it to a hermit who lives on the island. Obviously referring to Herman Toothrot. Eremitai quidum quin insulabitat eum commodavimus. So, yeah, eremita is the, this is the word where hermit comes from, and it was, once again, I think it's more like this medieval ecclesiastical Latin described like a hermit, a monk who takes a vow of silence or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it works. It works for Herman, even though that's not really what he is. That's kind of what he becomes in the second game. When you find him on Diki Island, he's like, it becomes like a philosopher's spiritual guru sort of thing. But yeah, indeed we lent it to the hermit who lives on the island. And then okay, and then I lost my place. Oh, and until that crusty old pantsless weirdo brings it back, we're keeping his banana picker. I hope you all appreciate this picture of the creepy old pantsless weirdo here. Feel like my anime Herman pinup. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn attention to it. Maybe it'd be funnier if I hadn't referenced it at all. Okay. Until that crusty old pantsless weirdo brings it back, we're keeping his banana picker. Everything about this sounds like anyone. Maybe this is all me. This is all my diseased brain. I don't think there's any intended innuendo. Okay. Etium dure cerebrosus ac minime bracatus veterator eum referat eos instrumento ad arienas carpendas tenemos. And now, or also, until that hot-headed and minimally pantsed old rogue, old scoundrel returns it, we will hold his instrument for pecking bananas. And then, sorry, but it's not just that easy. So I think this is in response to, why don't you just go down to there yourself? Sorry, but it's just not that easy. Ignoski mihi, sed non est tom facile quam dicis. Forgive me, but it is not as easy as you say. Trying to find the chuck could be dangerous. Non sumo tuo periculo lecioc invenire quaneris. For you would find the chuck at your greatest peril. So using ablative with periculo is a way of saying that it's dangerous to do something. So you do so at your own risk, at your greatest risk, at very great risk to you. You'd never find your way through the catacombs without the non conquidum per labyrinthum iterfacias sine. Never indeed would you make your way through the labyrinth without and then hey, okay, and then here the Cannibals speak Pig Latin. Ixne on the ēdita'st of the Navigator nay. And then, so there are a lot of things I could have done with this. The modern translations of Monkey Island usually try to use some sort of word game in that language that's kind of equivalent to Pig Latin. So, like in French, they use what do they call it, verlan or whatever. But I wasn't finding anything like that that's attested for Latin. Any equivalent to Pig Latin, And I was like, oh, what do I do? And then, but I like, it's Pig Latin is called Pig Latin, and this is a Latin. It felt too good just to maybe just leave the Pig Latin untranslated, leave it as Pig Latin, which I know causes an issue. Like if someone's playing this game and they read Latin but they don't know English, they might get lost here. But I think a lot of people playing Monkey Island who weren't native speakers got lost on not knowing what Pig Latin was either. So, but there's only a couple lines of the Pig Latin anyway that show up. So I don't know, I think I can get away with it. But I thought maybe the funniest thing to do was just leave it as English, just English Pig Latin. I thought about maybe could I apply Pig Latin rules to Latin, but then I thought that's just not a thing that exists, right? That might be too far out there to put Pig Latin rules onto Latin words. So I just left the Pig Latin untranslated. So ixne on the ēdita'st of the Navigator nay. And then this is also why I thought I could get away with calling the head of the Navigator in Latin the caput navigatoris, and use the word navigator, even though that just means like a sailor and not specifically, a navigator like the way it does in English, like a person who charts the course and stuff. Because I thought, because the way you first learn about it is actually with the English word, it's only natural then that Guybrush would start referring to it in Latin, or the game would start referring to it in Latin with the English cognate. And there will be dialogue enough that explains what it is, and it's not just any sailor, but it's a sailor skilled at navigating. So I think it all works out. But yes, ixne on the ēdita'st of the Navigator nay. And then the what? This is Guybrush's response to them speaking Pig Latin. Quid? And then nothing. Nihil. And then Guybrush. What's the ēdita'st of the Navigator nay? Quid est ēdita'st of the Navigator nay? What's the head of the? What is the ēdita'st of the Navigator nay? Why are you guys talking in Pig Latin? Quare ros latinitate purcina loquimini. So why are you speaking with porcine Latinity? I found a couple of different ways people have rendering Pig Latin, referring to Pig Latin in Latin. Oftentimes it just lingua latina porcina is often used, but I liked using latinitas with porcina, like porcine Latinity. I thought I liked that translation of Pig Latin. But yeah, why are you speaking with porcine Latinity? And then Guybrush can ask in Pig Latin, ude, uye, avhe, ewe, apme, avwe, ade, catacombs, ke? You have a map of the catacombs. And so once again I left that untranslated. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues for anybody. I don't know what percentage of someone who ends up playing this Latin translation of the game gets to this part and then they read Latin but not English, and they're too horribly confused by this handful of lines. I think it's fine. I think it'll work. And I think it'll be a nice unexpected, if you don't know it's coming, to just suddenly see this Pig Latin. I don't know. I thought the funniest thing was just not to translate it. So, and then, oh come on, tell me, I gave you the idol. Oh agite, dikite mihi, illudi dolum orbis dedi. Come on, tell me, I gave you that idol. And then, Ari say one. Sorry, no, Ari say one. That's kind of interesting, right? Of course, Latin doesn't have simple words for yes and no, but since Pig Latin is English, here they actually can't respond with a simple no. And then it is a very nice idol. Est quidum iupuntissim idolum. It is indeed a very pleasant, very agreeable, very charming and interesting idol. And then when you respond in confusion to what they're saying, I see is baffled by our native dialect. So here's the joke that the native language of the Cannibals is actually Pig Latin. Is nostra dialecto vernacula confusos esse videtur. So he seems to be confused by our vernacular dialect. And dialecton, the Greek word, was used in classical times to describe different dialects of languages, I believe. And then vernaculos, actually, it doesn't mean native, indigenous, or it's the vernacular. It means what it means, yeah. So he seems to have been confused by our. And I guess the expression to be confused by something. You're confused in something, right? Oh no, sorry. The pronoun he doesn't say in. So it's obviously just a simple adverb confused by. I've been staring at little words on a. Oh, wait, my eyes are going crazy, I think. Okay. Hopefully this shows up well enough in the video and everybody can read what's on the screen. Okay. And then good. Yeah, it's good that he doesn't understand. He's baffled by our native dialect. Why did I make this so long? Benest, ium satios deum nihil de capite cognoscere. It is well, for it is better that he knows nothing about the head. Maybe I just wanted to get caput in there. For the benefit of people who don't know English, at least have a reference some reference to it being a head. Oh, well, the next line says it anyway. I don't know why. But we could at least tell him what the head does. Or maybe I wanted to include the word head in the previous line. Yeah, maybe for those purposes. But at least tell him what the head does. Eis autem scire liciat quid caput agat. It would be allowed. Would be allowed at any rate for him to know what the head does. And then, well, it's a navigating tool. Revera ēdita'st instrumentum cursus dirigendos atquad ambages resolvendas. So actually, it's an instrument for directing courses and for resolving mazes and for solving mazes. And these are both the idiomatic phrases used for both those ideas. I believe so. To direct your heading of your ship, and then to resolve maze of passages or whatever. I found those as a tested phrase somewhere, whether classical or otherwise. I found those as the phrases for those concepts. And then so actually it's an instrument for and then what's an navigating tool? It's a head. So es caput. So without getting too I forget which Cannibals talking in which part, but one person's trying to make it sound really special, and the other one's just like, it's a head. It was once attached to a navigator. Poderat in colo rectori navis onancito, which was once situated on the neck of a ship's steersman. So because I wasn't really finding a good classical or otherwise word to describe the job position of the person who charts courses, I decided, I'll just go with the person who steers the ship, right? The helmsman or the steersman, which could either be called a rector or a gubernator, and then I wanted to avoid using the word gubernator because, of course, you're here to rescue the governor of the island, and I've been using gubernatrix for Elaine's title, which I suppose it's worth pointing out. Gubernatrix isn't, in classical times, certainly not attested. Even gubernator isn't, the governor of the provinces. Those were praetores and proconsules, other titles. Gubernator wasn't used in those situations anyway. Right? I think the main meaning of gubernator is the person who steers a ship, but I didn't want to cause any of that confusion, so that's why I went with rector as a translation. So, and then I added navis in case you might confuse it with other types of rectors, right? Other meanings at different points in the history of Latin that rector could also mean, because I think it has church, ecclesiastical connotations and stuff too. But which was once situated on the neck of the steersman of a ship. We've kept it alive magically so that we could take advantage of its innate sense of direction. Arte magica nosed vivum condivimus etiam servamus ut eos inat genio directorio nos obutamur ad utilitatum nostrum. so by a magical art, we have preserved it alive, and now keep it so that we might abuse its, or we might use for, it could just mean use, but like often as a connotation of use for nefarious purposes. I'm not sure why it went this way, but so that we might use its innate talent, its innate steering talent, directional talent, for our own use. I think it's because it's part of this whole expression. I think ubutur ad utilitatem, to put to one's personal use. I think this was a phrase I found probably in Smith and Hall for making use of something. But yeah, so we might abuse its innate directional talent for our own use, for our own benefit. Getting through the catacombs without it is impossible. Inextricables quidam sunt catacumbae sine capite. So indeed the catacombs are inextricable without the head. So they're unsolvable. The maze is just too it can't be untangled. It's too difficult to get through. But it's our only one, so you can't have it. Nobis tamen est unum tantum quodigitur tibidare non possumus. To us, however, there's only one, which therefore we are not able to give you. And after he gave us that nice idol too, so disappointed I guess they can't repay you. And after all you did for them, and after he gave us a nice idol too. Sed illut optimum nobis idolum dedit. He gave us that really, really good idol. And then feel free, and then as a kind of a consolation, feel free to come to the Great Monkey and visit your idol anytime. Vene quotiens cumque libet ad idolum tuum videndum, et magna simia deuet. So come as often as you like to see your idol, and may the Great Monkey help you. So yeah, I decided to put like this would be fortuna teuet, or the name of a god. This is an expression you could use to say may someone help you, as a well wishes to someone, since the Great Monkey is their god. I don't know why I threw it in there that way, but it felt like a nice thing for them to say, right? Giving him this blessing, may the Great Monkey help you. It's like, it's out of our hands, we can't help you now, but maybe you can visit your idol at the Great Monkey. Maybe the implication is, maybe literally the Great Monkey, maybe the Great Monkey will help you. Maybe you can pray for his help. I don't know. Whatever led me to translate it that way, I like it. And then they turn to each other and start having a conversation amongst themselves. So anyway, Lemonhead, what was that you were saying about tropical oils? Well, Iom ketorkipode, quid dicebas deutilitatibus oli quoranton generum quae in regionibus inter tropicus inventae sunt. Now, Cetrosyphilis, what were you saying about the uses of oil of certain kinds, which are found in the regions between the tropics? So ended up being kind of awkward, you know, awkward circumlocution, I guess, to describe tropical oils. But you know, the in Latin, and even all the way up into, like, you know, like 16th, 17th century Neo-Latin, tropicals wasn't used as an adjective to describe tropical regions on its own. It would describe specifically, like, the, you know, the latitude lines, the literal, like, tropics, like the Tropic of Capricorn and whatever the other one is, the actual, and so the regions within the, like, tropical regions then were referred to by this phrase, like regions between the tropics is how they were described, even in, like, late Neo-Latin, or, you know, during the early modern period, Neo-Latin. And then, well, oh, di che bon quidam. Oh, indeed, I was saying. And then, okay, then Guybrush, to get their attention, him. You know, I kept thinking about, like, I don't know, what interjection should I use here? And then, I thought, I don't know, I just ended up deciding just to describe what it is, because this sort of trope of coughing to grab someone's attention. I don't think I was finding it tested in any, like, Latin source, so I just described what it was. So, pellicula simulata conspicienda. So a feigned little cough, to be looked at. Yeah, so I just, like, described what it was, and then they turn to you and then, excuse us, but we're in the middle of a serious conversation. Quiddiamis non medium colloquium de rebus seriis interrupisti fusibus inconsideratis. So what do you want now? For you have interrupted the middle of a conversation about serious things with your inconsiderate coughs. I know, but I really need that navigator head thing. Ignoscete mihi, qui tamen illo capite navigatoris opus est magno. You know, forgive me, for whom, however, there's great need for that head of the navigator. I told you, we only have one. Non tibi diximus unum nobis esse tanto? Didn't we tell you that there is only one to us? That we only have one? We don't know how to get another one. Nescimus vero quomodo fieri posset altero. Truly, we don't know how another one might be made. Okay, so we're getting into so these are so we're getting into the pun here involving the head of the navigator, where in the English, you have a pamphlet that you get from a stand. You get several pamphlets that are like, you know, how to get a leg up in such and such a thing or whatever. And then one of these pamphlets is, you know, how to get ahead in navigation. And then, you know, this is what you give the cannibals, so that they're like, oh, we can make, with this information, we can make another head for ourselves. So you can take our old one. And so that's why their dialogue is phrased like this. This is their hint here. We don't know how to get another one, right? They're using the word "get" to make you think how can I get ahead? How to get ahead? So they're trying to lead you to making that connection. So I was trying to, so I phrased this line to work with the way I translated it. So we don't know how another one might be made. So the way I was trying to do the pun is I was trying to work with the two meanings of theo, both as a passive of facio, and as just the regular way to just kind of say become, and then caput, of course, mostly means like a literal head of a human or an animal, but it can be, when it's used to describe a person, it can mean like the chief, the person in charge of something. So I wanted to, have the pamphlet in Latin be something like, how to become a chief of sailing, how to become a chief of navigation, or whatever. I think for the Latin sentence to work, though, I really needed to make it clear that we're talking about one thing becoming another thing. I kind of needed both sides of the copular equation there. So I needed to include, I was thinking how someone becomes the head of navigation, or how, because it wouldn't, I don't think, work to be impersonal. So I settled on how you can become a head of navigation is what I settled on for my pamphlet. So quomodo tu caput navigationibus fieri potes, how you can become a head of navigation. But anyway, that's how I'm kind of playing it with here. And here, we don't know how another one might be made, because when you don't have another side to the equation, it was just alterum fieri posset, then it can't really mean become. It has to be it's just the passive of facio. So we don't know how another one can be made. But yeah, so I wanted the Cannibals to look at it, and so well, we'll see what I did there. The two, adding a specific person in there created a twist that I had to do like another joke. We'll see how we get there when we get there. Sorry, I'm rambling about things that will be clear in a moment anyway. So, but yeah, we don't know how another one might be made. And then, sorry. What? Why did I make this line so long? Nos quidam paenitet gratium tibi referre non posse, sed aliquando sic est vita. It indeed pains us that we are not able to return the favor to you, but sometimes such is life. Sometimes this is life. I don't know why. That's definitely an example of me over-translating, but I don't dislike it, so I'll leave it like that. But a lot of finality there. Like this makes it sound like they just really, really want Guybrush to leave. Like, sorry, there's nothing more we can do for you. And then, and if you keep bugging them, I told you can't have our head. Iom diximus nos capit tibi non lituros esse. We already told you that we are not about to give you the head. We don't know how to get another one. So here's the hint again. Non nescimus quomodo fieri posset alterum. For we do not know how another one might be made. Okay, and we'll get back to, we'll see how that pun shakes out in a minute when we get to that dialogue. Okay. And then, are we back to... Oh, Herman Toothrot. Arminios Toothrot. Whenever you think you're done with Herman's dialogue, he keeps coming back. That lovable scoundrel. Yellow Weatherator. That old rogue here. Okay. I don't know why I did this. And then, so, all I want is my banana picker back. I think this is earlier Guybrush looked at him and said, oh, he's babbling to himself. I think this is the stuff that he's babbling to himself. These lines here. All I want is my banana picker back. Nihil volo nisi me instrumenta dere nas carpendas ercipere. So I want nothing if not to recover my my instrument for picking bananas. But will they give it to me? Tamen obstinate mihi negator, which nevertheless they stubbornly deny to me, deny me receiving it. They want the monkey head key back first. Non postulatunst ut prius ego clavum magnae simiae redon. For it's demanded that I return that I give back the key of the monkey head first. That'll be the day. O certe res quidum solvator. Oh, so here's the situation where this is me just being silly, but there are several surviving phrases that exist in Latin that are the equivalent of like when pigs fly. You know, that'll never happen. And I try to combine them all into a single sentence. So, O certe res quidum solvator cum mula pipererit ad calendas graecas lucum boven. So let's see if I can remember. Just, you know, mula. Let me translate it first. Oh, certainly. The matter will indeed be resolved when a mule gives birth on the Greek calends to a Lucan cat, or to a Luciani, or okay, I'm trying to remember what my precedent was for all of these. So a mule giving birth, right? That's one expression that exists in Latin to say something that will never happen, right? Because mules are typically sterile. So, you know, it happened when a mule gives birth. Say that he would never get around to something. Augustus was fond of saying he would do something ad calendas graecas, on the Greek calends, because of course the calends are a part of the Roman calendar. It's not part of the Greek calendar system. So to say you're going to do something on the Greek calends means it's never going to happen. And then Luca Boss. So I'm trying to remember. I think this is a word that means elephant. It's a funny way of describing an elephant as a Lucan cow or whatever, because whatever region of Italy Hannibal first came. Came with his war elephants. Here, let me just look up what the phrase was. This might break the fourth wall a bit. Let's see. was the... Or... Oh, Lucanian is what you say in English. Describes someone from... Oh, Lucania is a region... Okay, so... elephant, and then... No, what's the... Oh, yeah. So then a locust will sooner give birth to an elephant. Prios pariet lucosta lucomboe. So yes, yeah. So that's the that's that phrase. So yeah. So so elephants are called Lucanian cows, as a joking reference to like the region of Italy where Hannibal showed up with them, and those Romans' first exposure to seeing an elephant, and so they're Lucanian cows. And then yeah, it'll never happen. So similar to the mule one, it's another one about giving birth. But yeah, so when a mule gives birth, that'll never happen, or when a locust gives birth to an elephant, that'll never happen. So yes, so that's the phrase I was looking for there. So yeah, the matter will be resolved when a mule gives birth on the Greek calends to a Lucanian cow. So combining all of the attested Roman expressions for that'll never happen into a single thing. Anyway, I did that just because I was being silly. So silly that I couldn't even quite remember everything that I was doing there. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah. And then kind of gave away that this isn't even a proper emulator, huh? This is this is just a silly website simulating Windows XP. Oh well. I should probably do that more often anyway, like looking up, because I spend so much time saying, I don't remember why I did this. I can just look up what I was thinking of. Okay. And then, so yeah, so that'll be the day I decided to have a field day with that. Okay, and then don't you think they're being unreasonable? Non è tibi videntur ili contra rationem segerere so don't they seem to you to be behaving themselves against reason? It's not as though I'm asking for a lot. Nihil equitem non fieri potest ut quod ego poscum nimis iniquium sit, for it isn't, it cannot be, can it, that what I'm demanding is too unfair, too inequitable. And no, I'm not getting squeamish. Oh, this is not following on from Herman. So we have Herman babbling for a little bit, but now we're to the cannibals arguing about what it is they're going to do with you. So and no, I'm not getting squeamish. So this is, I'm talking about like Red Skull's trying to convince them not to eat Guybrush, and Sharptooth wants to eat him. So this is not Herman's line. And no, I'm not getting squeamish. Minime ego scilicit humanum carnem non fastidio. Not at all. Obviously, I am not disgusted by human meat. So I decided I'm being more specific in the Latin about what they're talking about. Maybe I'm just doing this for my benefit more than anything, because when you're just looking at these lines without any context, it's hard to keep track of what's going on. Hopefully it still plays well in the game. No, I'm not getting squeamish. I'd love to eat the guy. Nihil equidem mago scupium, cum nos hunc hominem devorare. For my part, there's nothing, I desire nothing more than that we devour this person. So let's do it. Bene, idamos igitur. Fine, very well, good. Therefore, let's eat. But think of your arteries. Nihil autem tu pense videris habere qualis sit tibi valetudo cardiangiaca. Let's see. So nothing. Oh, so however, you seem to hold nothing of weight. Wow, I really got crazy with the word order here. But yeah. However, you seem to hold nothing of weight, meaning you don't think it's important. You consider nothing of weight. Consider it to be nothing of importance, nothing of weight. How your cardiovascular health might be. How the cardiovascular health might be for you. And then cardiangiaca, I'm sure is like, yeah, some Neo-Latin word for cardiovascular. But yeah. But yeah, you, however, consider it, seem to consider it nothing of weight, how your cardiovascular health is. We are cannibals, for crying out loud. Nos me Hercle sumos anthropophagy. We, by Hercules, are cannibals. Yeah, but cannibals have to watch their saturated fats, just like everyone else. Etium nobis anthropophagis modos pinguaminum satororum tenendos est perendat omnibus aliis hominibus. So even for us cannibals, the means. Oh, the measure. Oh, so this is modus, and like the talk about the. Oh, so I think this expression, yeah. Tenio with modon, tenio modon, yeah, to keep and measure, to keep in check, right? To watch the levels, to maintain moderation, to hold so even for us cannibals, the measure of saturated fats, which this must be more like Neo-Latin here. Well, no, I mean pinguamen, like fat. I don't know. Yeah. And the Romans didn't talk about saturated fat as an idea, but I guess the words are, the thick, thick fat. So even for us cannibals, the measure of saturated fats must be held in moderation. Just like all other humans. Just, for us it's true just as it is for all other humans. If I have to eat any more fruit, my head's gonna turn into one big citrus. So that's obviously Lemonhead saying that as a joke, because he's already got a big lemon for head. Jam tantos edi fructus ut temiomne mihi caput in malon citrium vertatur. So malum citrium, this is another, attested Latin word for a lemon specifically. Or maybe it's the citron, I don't even remember now. But I have already eaten so many fruits that I fear that my head might be turned into a big citrus apple, right? into a lemon. So I've already eaten so many fruits that I fear that my head will turn into a lemon. And then, no, I think this must be, no offense, Lemonhead. So it must have been, this is Sharptooth saying this. I'm afraid my head's going to turn into a big lemon. And then he realizes what he said. And he's like, no offense, Lemonhead. And then, so, ignoske mihi kitro kepele. Nom te non an animo fuit offendere. Forgive me, Lemonhead, for it was not my intention to offend you. And then now we finally get to the dialogue for when you do give the pamphlet to them. So we'll see how I handled that. Wow, look at this. Speak it talk. Well, look at this. Look at this. Here I am using the way it's actually often used as like a well. What do we have here? That's the way is supposed to be used. But look at this. It looks like instructions on how to get ahead. Opusculum didascalicum videtur, cui titulus est Pomodo tu capet navigationis fieri posis mene. So it seems to be a little didactic work. I think this is an expression found to describe didactic works in Latin, like in educational, and it seems to be like an informational work. And here I decided to just put the actual title rather than have him paraphrase what it is. Whose title is how you might because the title is an indirect question, that's why it's agenda, but how you can become a chief of navigation. Because I thought without the two sides to the copular equation, if it was just caput navigationis fieri potes, then it immediately goes to how a head of navigation might be made, and it's yeah, it's too similar to the one meaning, but it has to have the double meaning, right? You know, it has to be an instructional pamphlet telling a person how they can become a chief of navigation, and not how a head of navigation can be made. But this could be read as, you know, how you can be made into a head of navigation, which is what we're going to get to here. So, and then, so there's consequences though to making it specifically about you though, and then to highlight what's coming, I have him even specifically say out loud, me. So, and this is Red Skull who's reading it. And then instructions on how to get ourselves a new one. Yes, I suppose we can give you this now. Thanks. Looks pretty good for a dried up old head, doesn't it? So that's everything that was in the original. I think I added a lot to make this new joke work. So how you can be made a head of navigation. Me, and then optime capotigator iri nostrum demos et hoc livello ligendo discamos ex eruthro non facere. So very good. Our head, therefore, let us give to him. Oh, I lost my place. Our head, therefore, let us give to him. And with this, by reading this pamphlet, by reading this little book, let us learn. And then you could get two different possible interpretations here. Let us learn from Red Skull how to make a new one, or by reading this little book, let us learn how to make a new one out of a Red Skull, because disco can be used with X to describe who you're learning from, you know, the source of your knowledge. But X is used with facio for when you're making something out of something. So this works either way. Let us by reading this book learn from Red Skull how to make a new one, or let's learn how to make a new one out of Red Skull, really implying that they're gonna try to, you know, cut off his head and turn him into the new head of the Navigator, which I know is a big, I don't know. It's not like this character ever appears again in any of the other games. It doesn't quite ruin anything to imply that this might happen in his future. And his name is already Red Skull, right? Like, I think implying he'll become decapitated. I don't know. This is all very amusing to me when I was writing it, and I felt very clever for figuring this out, trying to make this pun work, and for this new element. Of course, since there's that two interpretations of what Sharptooth just says, there's two different ways. There's a way that that Red Skull himself takes it. It seems like probably isn't the way that Sharptooth meant. O certe, gaudio quidum meos amicos e me discere vele. So here we're seeing how he interprets it. Oh, certainly, I rejoice indeed that my friends wish to learn from me. Etion tividare possumus hoc. And now, and now we can give you this. So I think that, hopefully the fact that that Red Skull so enthusiastically interprets it one way, hopefully hopefully the other meaning, make a new one out of Red Skull. It's apparent to the player that's the one that Sharptooth really meant, and I don't know. I hope this joke works. I really do. I know explaining a joke doesn't make it funny, but hopefully it works and it plays out. With, I don't know, whoever. I don't even know who the audience for this project actually is. But anyway, and then Guybrush just says, yeah, thanks, gratias, and then looks pretty good for a dried up old head, doesn't it? Udvides, etiomsi vetus et desicatons, hoc abscisum caput, hoc vivit, et bona valetudin utitur. I think I over-translated this line again, but yeah. As you can see, even though it is old and desiccated, old and dried out, this severed head still lives and is enjoying good health. So I guess I went in that direction. It's the same thing as when they were talking about the corpse earlier, saying he looks pretty good. Like, in Latin, to say someone looks good means that they're attractive in some way. It doesn't, in English, you can say something looks good to say like it's an okay shape, right? It's an okay condition, right? That's why I translated it this way, because it's like, I just spelled out, like, yeah, even though it's old and dried up, it's still alive and, yeah, enjoying good health, still living. And then we keep it wrapped in this magical necklace that makes it invisible to ghosts. Involutum quidum tenemos caput munili magico quod facetut id a phantasmatibus videre non possit. So we indeed we keep it the head we keep the head wrapped with this magical necklace, which makes it so that it cannot be seen by ghosts. And then, hey, look, I think he likes you. So you see a close-up of the head and Guybrush's hands, and it smiles at him during this point. So, oh, look, I think he likes you. Ecce, tu tuto e places. Behold, you, as I think, are pleasing to him. And then just follow his nose, and he'll lead you to LeChuck's hideout in the catacombs. Sequimodo caput, vium naso monstrans, et ad latibulum duceris, ubi LeChuck in catacombis latit. So merely follow the head, showing the way with its nose, you will be led to the hiding place where LeChuck lies in hiding in the catacombs. And then get the root from LeChuck and come back here. Recipera radica denda LeChuck et huc redi. So recover the root then from LeChuck and return here. And we'll mix up a batch of our special enzymatic ghost dissolving solution. Ut nos eos masolum cum dilutis in zumis quibustum parecipo iaptis ad phantasmata dissolvenda commisciamus. So, okay. So that we... We're all the way at the end. So that we might mix together a mass of it, a piece of the root, a lump of it, with with dissolved enzyme. Because it's an enzymatic solution, I guess. So mix a piece of it with diluted enzymes. With certain diluted enzymes, especially apt at dissolving ghosts. So, yeah. So recover the radish and return here so that we might mix together a piece of it with certain diluted enzymes, particularly apt at dissolving ghosts. Okay. I don't know if I had to be that. I don't know. I don't know if I really needed the word dilutis in there. I guess I'll leave it for right now. Especially since this isn't... If I make changes to this version, it doesn't actually help anything. But I'll think more about that line and whether I want it to be like that. And then... and you can pour it on the chuck like salt on a slug. Quam potione confecto denique tu funda super le choc vedot salem super limace. So which potion, having been finished, you may then pour upon the chuck, just like salt upon a slug. Yeah, Haec. Just like another interjection, like hooray or whatever. And then good luck. Fortuna te juet. May fortune help you. Wait, manete. Wait, hold on. What? ēdita'st. So yeah, I suppose it's possible to get to this point without having gone through all the dialogue options. So Guybrush could get to this point where he gets the head, but he hasn't talked to them about the catacombs or how to get there. So in that rare circumstance, you have this dialogue where Guybrush asks, "Wait, where are the catacombs? I don't even know where the entrance to the catacombs is." If you hadn't heard this before, ubi sit porta catacombarum nescio. So I don't know where the gate of the catacombs is. Oh yeah, it's the big monkey head on the east side. So maybe if you haven't even gone to the monkey head, no, you have to have, I think of this. Oh, to get the idol, yeah. So you have to have. It's the big monkey head on the east side. Oh, esquidam illo magnum caput simiae, quod in exortiva part insulae sitonst. It is indeed that big head of a monkey, which is situated on the the rising out part of the island, right? The east side where the sunset rises. It's sometimes used as a exortivos, can mean the eastern part of something. Yeah, that big monkey head, which is situated on the eastern part of the island. You can't miss it. Id cum videris cognosces. So it, when you will have seen it, you will recognize, you will know it. When you see it, you'll know it. I don't remember if this is a quote. This might actually be a quote from a Latin author. Certainly, I know it when I'll see it is certainly something in English that's survived. I don't know. Have fun, oblectate, amuse yourself. And then, oh boy, okay, so we have more debate. So jumping back in time, more debate from the cannibals about what they're gonna do with you. Alright, so we might eat you, we might let you go. Nascimos utrumte come suri simos an liberaturi. So we don't know whether we are going to eat you or we're going to free you. We'll have to talk about it with the village nutritionist. The cases nobis hactere dieteticum vicanum consulere. So yeah, for it is necessary for us to consult the village dietitian about this matter, or so yeah, and so it doesn't. Dieteticus in Latin and in Greek was a little bit broader than just like a dietitian, but basically among Roman medici, there are kind of two types. Dieteticus was like preventative health, so it's like or would recommend diet and exercise and stuff, as a way to get healthy, and then a doctor who performed surgeries and bloodlettings and stuff was a chirurgos, which is actually where the word surgery comes from, but it's chirurgos, like keros, it's working with your hands, a person who works with your hands, a surgeon. So but yeah, and then Wicanos, like of the village, so that all works out. It's necessary for us to consult the village doctor about this matter. But yeah, specifying, I think the idea of nutritionist gets, especially with modern associations that people will inevitably bring to the word. I think it makes sense. Come, let us show you our guest hut. So this is where they, keep you after they capture you, in that hut where they keep upgrading the door. Veni, ad hospitalum casum te ducem. So come, I will lead you to the guest hut, the hut for guests, or hospitality hut. And then when they keep, every time they upgrade the door, they say, that should do it. Hoc idem retenebit. So this will be able to hold back. This will hold back, will restrain that guy. And then when you come back, having gotten the route, having returned from the check ship, I did it. I got the route. Recuperatio mihi successit. So the recovery has succeeded for me. I habio radica. I have the route. Always so much more. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say I did it. Like, but eggy. Like, yeah. Like it just in Latin it feels much. Yeah. You kind of have to add the detail. I don't know. Wow. Bye. Look, he's not kidding. Aspicite, ide quidum non jucator. He indeed is not joking. Look, he indeed is not joking. Here it is. Ecce. He's not such a wimp after all. Isigeter non tagnavos cum nos arbitrati sumos. He therefore is not as cowardly as we had judged. no, not nos. I know I stuck the nos in there to break up the illusion, but you're really tempted to think it's accusative, as we had judged ourselves. So I should probably take that nos out of there. But I'll do it when I'm editing the real thing. Yeah. So we therefore, or he therefore, is not as cowardly as we had judged, as we have judged. What? Nothing broke. You shut up. Everything's fine. There's no jarring sudden cut. Shut up. Come on, let's go make the brew of the fermented root. Agite. Furwe faciamus humoram sacatum radicis fermentatai. So come on, let us bring to a boil the strained liquid of the fermented root. Sacatum from saco, or from sacos, right? Literally like to strain the liquid. You know, like when you're making nut milk or something, or you know, like straining something through sackcloth. Is what it means. I don't know why I wanted to translate it that way. Sacato as a neuter noun too also means urine, which is, I don't know, another fact I will mention. It's not a fact that I didn't accidentally lose this entire tab when I was trying to look something up and completely mess up this fake Windows XP layout and have to reset it all up again just to verify whether sacato means urine or not. That's not. That wouldn't be worth it. You shut up. Okay, and then wait here. We'll be right back. Hic mane pellisper dum reveniamos. Remain here for a little while until we return. And then, while the cannibals are away, the three-headed monkey comes back, and then Guybrush can talk to it. Nice monkey. I wasn't able to find. I was trying to find any like evidence of like what would the Romans say to like calm down a dog, and I just, I don't know. I wasn't able really to find anything. You know, the idea like nice dog. You know, so I just had Guybrush say hi to it. Salve, simia. Hello, monkey. I got the root. Radica recepi. I recovered the root. I'm not such a wimp after all. Ego non sum tagnaevos quaeli arbitrati sunt. I am not as cowardly as they had judged, as they have judged. I'd love to have you stuffed. I'd make a fortune. Ex tuo corpore differto condidoque divitias facium. So I would make a fortune. I would make wealth from your stuffed and preserved corpse. I think maybe this combination of you know, differtos and conditos. I think I found in some source maybe talking about Egyptian mummies. I think this is how the Egyptians themselves talked about someone being mummified. But yeah, I would make a fortune. You know, just like, you know, pretty much the same expression in English. I'd make a fortune from your stuffed and preserved corpse. And then, all right, and then they come back with the potion. There it is. Ecipotio, behold the potion, behold the drink. And then one squirt of that stuff and the ectoplasm really hits the fan. One really hits the fan. Qua pantas mata quodvis aspersum redigetur in globulos ectoplasmatis. Obviously, not a, I don't even know if it made its way. It's made its way into modern Neo-Latin or not, right? It's obviously pseudo-scientific mumbo jumbo using Greek roots, but whatever. At this point, I'll keep it. Behold this potion, with which you can, with which you might, let's see. Man, I'm spacing on redigator. Redigo. It should be it's really like re plus ago, right? So like so yeah, with which any ghost any ghost you like, having been sprinkled with it, having been sprayed with it, maybe driven back into globules, into droplets of ectoplasm. So, I bet reduce. Yeah, right. This is like rendered to such a state. Yeah. So yeah, with which with which any ghost you like, having been sprayed with it, may be reduced to droplets of ectoplasm, driven back to something like that. I could have looked it up again, but last time I looked something up, nothing happened last time I tried to look something up. Everything's fine. Okay. And then and if you have any left over, it's delicious with a little vanilla ice cream, right? So the game slowly like teases you with, oh wait, this is just root beer. Etiam postea siquid habeos reliqui sapiataic optime glaciae vanilla leviter superfusa. So also afterwards, if you have anything of remaining, right? Anything of if anything's left over, right? Quid de reliqui is the way. Yeah, anything left over. This tastes very good. Lightly poured over ice cream from vanilla or whatever. So very, very, very much into modern Neo-Latin to describe vanilla ice cream this way. And then yeah, I think superfusa I think took the it goes with the dative, poured over to vanilla ice cream. And then good luck, bonum fortuna, good luck, thanks, gratias, And then, okay. Magic seltzer bottle. Magikon lagoinom at seltzerano. So, magic seltzer bottle. I tried to explain my translation of seltzer bottle, I think going all the way back in that first video, because for whatever reason the word seltzer bottle appears up there. But named after a region in Germany where there was this naturally carbonated water that they sold or whatever. I don't know, but whatever. Magic seltzer bottle. Okay, and then and now we're to talking to the head of the Navigator when you're trying to convince it to give you the necklace. I guess I could go through this. I know I've been going for a long time already, but I just set everything up again after we're messing it up, so I feel like I should at least keep going a little bit further. Yeah, I'll just finish up with the Navigator dialogue, and then I'll stop after that. So, necklace on Navigator, Manile Navigadores, and then I can't whip that out in here. I'm not sure where, but somewhere where you can't take out the Navigator head. Maybe on the ship, I'm not sure. But ēdita'st exerere non posso, so I cannot hold it out here. And then, I better put the necklace back on the way the natives had it first. So yeah, when you do take the head out, you have to put the necklace back on it just because it's part of the sprite. Satios ita me monere capot in volvere ut indigenae prios ficerunt. So it would be better that I wrap the head with the necklace the way that the natives before had done. I don't think it's picking anything up when it's not pointing in any direction. Nihil ēdita'st indicare. So now it seems to indicate nothing. Nope, nothing. Nihil omnino, nothing at all. So I think this is when you get lost on the path, and then you don't go the right way, and then you just have to walk through any path, and it resets to the beginning of the maze. Okay, now we're talking to the Navigator. Hello, Mr. Navigator. Salve, o navigator. Hello, o Navigator. I'm not using, I know in Neo-Latin people use the honorifics like dominus and stuff a lot, but I try not to use them too often because it's certainly not classical practice to use honorifics all the time like in modern languages. Hello, salve. And then, so some of this, of course, the response, if you have been asking about the necklace already, you're not going to bug me about my necklace again, are you? Non tu me flagetabis iterum monili meo. So you're not going to flagellate me, you're not going to beat me. So this is, by extension, right? Like to beat someone, like to hound them about something, right? To keep beating them over the head with a question. So you're not gonna, keep asking me, keep whipping me again about my necklace. Are you? And then, when you've reached the check ship, okay, we're here. Eke nos hoc advenimos. Behold, we've arrived here. And then, now what do you want from me? Yom quida me peterevis. Now what do you want to seek from me? Yes, quid vis, what do you want? And then, hello, head. Salve caput. May I please have that necklace? Mihine liciat monili gerere. So would it be allowed for me to wear your necklace? Thank you for leading me to the ghost ship. Gratios tibiago pod ad naum phantasmaticum duxisti. So I thank you because you have led me to the ghost ship. Thanks again for leading me to the ghost ship. Gratios iterum tibiago quod naum phantasmaticum me duxisti. So I render thanks unto you again because you have led me to the ghost ship. Well, it's been nice. I'll just put you back now. Bonum fuit nostrum colloquium, sediam te repono. So our conversation was good, but now I will put you back. Hello, salve. There's something I can do for you. Quid pro te facion? What for you? What might I do for you? And then, oh, when you say thanks, hey, you just respond, hey, no problem. Oh, ēdita'st. Oh, it was nothing. When you only have one job, you do it well. Know what I mean? Non qui munus unum tantum fungendost ineo solit excedere intelligisne. So yeah, so for yeah, so for someone to whom only one job has been fungo. One job has been assigned. Gosh, I'm really forgetting the meanings of words. You know, one job has been for whom one job has been like tasked to them, assigned to them. In that one job, they are want to excel. Do you understand? And then I get the feeling you're about to ask me a favor. Suspicora me te gratium petitur vese. I suspect that you are about to seek a favor from me. And then, oh, I think this is when you say, I'll put you back now. He's like, where? Like, put me back where? Ubi? None of your business. Nil tua refer. You know, doesn't matter to you. It doesn't concern you. I think this is when this line shows up, and if so, it might be it's a reference to Sam and Max, maybe, which I think had already made this joke in the comics. But Sam asking Max where he keeps his gun, because obviously Max doesn't wear clothes, doesn't have pockets, and so where do you keep your gun? And Max responds, "None of your damn business, Sam." Of course, yeah, creator of Sam and Max, Steve Purcell, was the lead artist on on this game, and he drew the the image of the head of the Navigator, the creepy image that you see at this point. I think it might be a Sam and Max reference. I don't know. And then oh, I understand. Oh, intelligo. And then asking, yeah, can you have it? No, but thanks for asking so politely. Non licet, sed tibi gratias ago, quod humanissime rogasti. It's not allowed, but I thank you because you asked very humanely. Why can't I have it? vorrei bere, non posso. Why can I not have it? Oh, come on, please. Oh, Age, te queso. Oh, come on, I beg you. Pretty please? Dami histis monire. Give me, please. And literally, cis is siwis, like if you like, but it's one of those things, please. Give me, please, the necklace. Pretty please. So I'm trying to get, yeah, like the same effect of Gyros getting, you know, increasingly more, I don't know, polite or whatever, increasingly, I don't know, increasing the intensity of his pleas. Well, so des, monile mihi des. So I would like, if you please, if you dare, literally if you dare, but if you please, I would like that you give to me the necklace. So using the subjunctive with wolo, right? Is it even more like, I don't know, it just feels like it's venturing into more polite. I would like, if you please, that you give the necklace to me. And then pretty please with sugar on top. And then amabote, flexabote. So I will love you, which is an expression the Hermans used to say please, right? They say, I will love, you know, if you do this, I will love you, basically is the idea. But I will love you. But then flexabote, I will love you. I will embrace you. I will hug you. That's not an attested phrase meaning please, but when I was searching through like the PHI database for examples of amabote being used, I found, I think in a Plato's or Terence play, it being used in a literal sense of someone saying, I will love you, I will hug you, and that amused me, and I thought maybe that felt like maybe as a way of the idea of pretty please with sugar on top, like what's a level above just saying I will love you, a sappier form of saying please. It just amused me to imagine a Roman person being like, I will love you, I will hug you if you do this for me. I don't know. I thought it was funny, so I went with that. Maybe I'll just take it. Yeah, there's actually two ways to get the necklace. You can either keep pestering him by saying please, and he eventually gives it to you, or you can threaten violence. Maybe I'll just take it. Id fortasse modo capere debio. Perhaps I should just take it. I don't want to have to hurt you. Nolo tibi nocere nisi necessest. I do not wish to hurt you unless it is necessary. What are you gonna do? Bite me? With ages. Mordebis neme? What are you gonna do? Are you going to bite me? If I wanted to, I could drop kick you into the lava. In saxa liquefacto si vene, te jaculare posse. So in the liquefied rock, which seems to be the nearest way, the only way the Romans described lava when they described volcanic eruptions and things, they didn't have a specific word for lava. They just describe it as liquefied rock. But into the liquefied rocks, if I wanted to, if I wished, I could hurl you. I tried playing around with something to convey the idea of drop kick specifically, but it'd be too long for the line. Like you make the lines in the dialogue choices too long, they go off the screen. I didn't want it to be too long, so I could hurl you into the lava if I wanted. And then if you just give up, fine. I don't really want it anyway. Benest, id equidem non ni no ocupio. It is well. Indeed, I do not want it at all. And then, good, because you ain't gonna get it if you do give up. Optimist nom nunquam tibieret mea monere. It is very good, for never will my necklace be yours. And then, I've got a bad feeling about this place. I think I might need it. So this is, of course, when you reach the ghost ship and the head saying, it wants to be invisible to the ghosts. It thinks it needs it. I think it's the head saying it. I don't think it's Kuiper saying these lines. Meo senam me sensus quam periculoso sit hic locus admonet. So indeed, my sense, my feelings warn me how dangerous this place is. I think I found this as an attested phrase for like, yeah, your senses warning you. Sensus se admonere. So I think I might need it. Ergo put. So I guess this is part of the same. I think I might need it. So I have a bad feeling on this place. I think I might need it. Ergo puto forot mihi setopos manili. Therefore, I think it will be that I have need for the necklace. Look, don't be a nag, okay? Hey, molestos necis. Hey, don't be annoying. This is a phrase used often in Roman comedies. Don't be a pest. Molestos necis. You can beg all you want, but you can't have it. Flagita quantum vis idautum tibi non licet bere. So keep on about it. Whip me about it. Right? Keep asking about it over and over as much as you like. It, however, is not allowed for you to have it. And then when he gives in when he asks please so many times. Oh, all right, you big baby. Oh, bene, chiedo, wicisti. That's another one where I kind of went overboard. Tu quidum bola dignissimos o puellis homo. So, okay. Oh, fine. I yield. You have won. You are indeed worthy of a bola. Oh puerile, oh childish man, oh childish person. So yeah, well, we're searching for ways of saying like, oh, big baby. So how do I call someone infantile or whatever? I think in Smith and Hall, it was pointed to a quote from, I think Marshall, maybe it was Juvenal, I think it was Marshall, an epigram describing a person as being childish. And they're described as, bola dignissimos, like very worthy of a bola. And a bola was a little amulet. What was it? Like a locket necklace worn around the neck that contained a phallic-shaped amulet that Roman boys would wear that was supposed to protect them from, curses and witchcraft and the evil eye and stuff. And girls wore a similar amulet called a lunella that was a little crescent moon shape. But I saw this phrase and I thought, ooh, okay, I really like this. That it, it's another reference, it's like a Roman localization thing, right? A reference to Roman culture, worthy of a bola. But then a bola is a necklace, right? So it's like, he's like taunting him, like, okay, you want the necklace so bad? You're such a childish person. You are worthy of a bola. Here you go. And that's exactly the way the insult is used in Marshall. It's the idea that this person's so childish, he should go back to his childhood, this thing associated with childhood. And then here the connecting it, it's just another type of necklace. I thought it was perfect. I thought it made sense. So I like the way that line turned out. And then you can have it. Cape modo menile. Just take the necklace. And then when you're threatening him and saying that you could hurt him, maybe I could just take it, and then maybe you better not. Fortasse non debes. Perhaps you shouldn't. And I don't want to have to make you regret it. So when Guybrush says, I don't want to have to hurt you, I don't want to have to make you regret it. No lo tibi no quiere ni si neceses. I don't want to hurt you unless it's necessary. Lost my place. Oh, et ego nolo cogi retaliare. And I don't want to be forced to retaliate. And then remember, you need me to get out of this place. Ex hoc loco tu non cum sine me poteris exiere. Videris huios oblitos esse. So you will never be able to exit from this place without me. You seem to have forgotten this. If I wanted to, I could strand you here forever. In aeternum, si veneng, te semper hic erebundum relinquere possem. Forever, in eternity, if I wanted, I could leave you behind here, wandering, or doomed to wander. Erebundos, bound for wandering. And then when he finally gives in from the threats, when you say you're going to drop kick him in the lava, on second thought, hey, what good's a necklace if you don't have shoulders? Utiame reputo, quid tamen se topos venire capiti sinumeris, idigator habere tu deves. As I now rethink, what finally, tandem just really strengthens the question. So what the heck use is there for a necklace for a head without shoulders? You therefore should have it. And then let's see. And then the necklace on Guybrush to show when you're wearing it. Munile pod Gaius ungerit. The necklace which Gaius now wears. And then I have a feeling this only works underground. So if you try to put on the necklace above ground, I'm not sure how this comes up. You'd have to leave the monkey head. Maybe you can do this. I'm not sure. But suspicuar hoc tontum sub terra prudesse. So I suspect this is only beneficial underground. This only does something useful underground. This feels weird when you first put on the necklace. Insolitos quidans hic sensus. Unusual indeed is this feeling. And then there's some serious paddling. I don't know when that comes up. Oh, I think maybe this is, yeah. Once you've escaped with the route, and you automatically come back to the cannibals right away. After some more furious paddling. I don't know. Post Paulo plus remigationis vehementis. So after a little bit more rowing, and then, oh gosh, and then we're back to we're to things that are in the cannibal hut. So, but I said I'd stop after okay, I'll keep going a little bit more. I'm almost like done with everything with the cannibals, and then we're to Scumbar stuff. So I'm just gonna finish out all the cannibal and head of the navigator stuff here. So, okay. This is going to be a long video, but that's okay. So I'm going to finish out this cannibal stuff. So this is when you're so we saw the bowl of fruit earlier, but also in the cannibal village right next to it there's a bowl of bones, crateron osion, bowl of bones. And then MacGyver sees it. I think that's how I'll end up if I don't get out of here soon. I'm just looking at the bowl of bones. Eos modi me suspicor e wasor wese nisi mox hinc discedan. So I suspect I will end up in the same way unless I leave from here soon. And then I guess when you look at them later, once you're safe, look at the bowl of bones later on. And to think I almost ended up like that. In mento mihi venet ac cratera conspecta corsum held multo wafverit quin awadere. So this is one of those other phrases that mean like something almost happened. So it comes to my mind this bull having been seen, having spotted this bull. To what end? Not much away from. There's not much in the way from having it happen, it almost ended up being the case that that I ended up to that end. So it's very, very awkward translating the very idiomatic Latin into English. But in my mind, it comes to me looking at this crater. To what end I almost ended up, right? Is the meaning of it, the sense of it. And then when you try to grab one of the bones, no thanks. They've still got some meat on them. Nolo, aliquidem carnis etium non caeret enis. So I don't want to. Something of meat, even now, sticks onto them. And then dor, ostium, vines, wheates. Oh, so this is when you're inside the hut. So there's some vines in there, and then I don't know if this is just the response for using them, but I don't think hanging myself is the answer. Suspendium non est effugium quod quaero. So death by hanging. Hanging is not the escape which I'm looking for. I can see underneath the hut, so there's a loose floorboard, which, yeah, covered by a hole and loose board. So, I described the hole. I guess I decided to be very specific, probably just because Floraman didn't feel right for like a rectangular hole for the space where a floorboard was. You think of a Floraman as like a, I don't know, not this kind of hole. So interval ubi fuit tabula. So the space where there was a board, and then the loose board tabulum mobile. So the movable board tabulum mobile. Yeah. So, but yeah, when you're looking through, I can see under the hut. Sub casa videre reposo. And then it looks loose. Mobilis videator. It seems movable. And then it's already open. Ionia ēdita'st. What? Quid? I'm not sure what that's a response to. If it's when you try to close it, or I don't know. And then once you've befriended the cannibals, you can just go in and out as you please. Part of this is, you can escape from the hut really easily by going through the loose floorboard, but you can't take Herman's banana picker with you because it's too big to fit through the hole. So you can't take that out of the hut until after you've befriended the cannibals. But I think I can use the door now. ostio mihi nunc uti licet. So it's now allowed for me to use the door. And then there's a skull in there. So skull, Calvario, and then yeah, what a cute little skull. Quam ēdita'st Haec Calvaria. How cute and little, how beautiful and little, how cute is this skull? And then nothing happened. Nihil evenit. So I'm not sure what the player was trying to do. That's the response for. But I don't think hanging myself is the answer. Suspendium non est defolium quoquae. Yeah, hanging is not the escape I'm looking for. More of those vines, vites. And then there's a window, finestro. So I can't get through it. Evadere per eum non possum, so I can't go through it. It doesn't open. You try to open it, it doesn't open. Aperire non potest, that cannot be opened. It's already closed. Ion clausast. And then of course the banana picker. Instrument Ariana scalpendas. So I don't think I need any more bananas. So it's kind of funny, you don't get the banana picker until after you're done with the monkey or whatever, so you don't actually need to use the banana picker to get any of the bananas in the game, I don't believe. So it's kind of like, here's this thing that would have been useful earlier that you don't get until later. It's only useful as giving back to Herman so you can get the monkey head key. Yeah, I don't think I need any more bananas. Ion mihi stot putosatis alienaron. So I already have, as I think, enough bananas. Oh, I realize the meaning's slightly different, because at this point in the game you probably don't have any bananas left because you gave them to the monkey. So it's not that you already have enough, it's that you don't need any more. Oh, I'll have to change. I think I might have to rearrange that line. It just occurred to me the meaning's different. So I'll rejigger that line later. Rework that. Non ut puto opus mihis, arienis, or I don't need bananas now, or something like that. Okay. And then that banana is already picked. So, or maybe it is possible. Yeah, you try to use the banana on one that's already in the inventory. The banana's already picked. Ile aliena ion cartas. There are no bananas to pick there. Ilic nullae sunt alienae quae carpon. So there are no bananas, which I might pick. And then looking at the banana picker itself, it says if found, please return to Herman Toothrot. Inscriptum verbis hoc inventum redatur Herminius Toothrot. So return this having been found to Herminius Toothrot. And then intervallum ubi fuit tabula. Memo. Oh, codikilos. So there's a memo in there too. And then door. Ostium. Oh, okay. And then now we're Scumbar stuff is next. So now we're back to stuff in the Scumbar. Oh, wait, one more line that's relevant to that scene. Sorry. I might fit through that hole, but I don't think this banana picker will. So when you try to leave with the banana picker through the hole, it won't let you. Ēdita'st ut ego sic exire posse, sed hoc instrumentua deriena scarpendas ut puto nimis magnost. So maybe that I can exit that way, but this instrument for picking bananas I think is too big. Okay. All right. So I think that's everything. Everything involving the cannibals is now done. It's the whole village. It's all the dialogue with the cannibals. So I think we've gotten through all of that. And then so next time, yeah, it will be some of the stuff with the scum bar. We'll get back to some of the stuff that you may have already seen before in those first 2 videos I posted showing off the beginning of the game in Latin. Although I keep tweaking and changing this as I go, so some of the lines will be different probably than you saw in that video. But anyway, we'll stop here. Until next time, thanks for watching. Walete.